An interesting revelation has come via the Mavericks media website as they have officially listed Cooper Flagg as a guard slash forward on his position. Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. Jeffrey Cooperstein here with you guys. Hope everyone's enjoying their Monday so far. And on today's show, we're going to talk about what that means, if it means anything regarding Flagg's official listed position on the Mavericks roster. Before we get into today's show, though, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Our goal is to get to 32,600 subs as soon as humanly possible. We're about 68 subscribers away, so if you haven't already, hit that sub button at youtube.com/MavsTV. We're covering the Mavericks better than anyone here on YouTube with the latest Mavericks news and rumors. We do watch parties as well, and we may have some really cool content coming up this season for you guys as well. All right, so from Jason Kidd's perspective, what does it mean that Flagg is listed as a guard slash forward? Kidd has talked multiple times this offseason about wanting Flagg to play the point, not only the point guard position, but play guard throughout his rookie season as well, to throw as much at him as humanly possible in order to get Flagg as uncomfortable as he can to try to make him more and more successful as the season goes on. And when you look at the current Mavericks roster right now, I have Flagg currently listed as a starting shooting guard on this team. You'll have Kyrie Irving at the 1, and of course, this is when Kyrie is fully healthy. PJ Washington at the 3, with AD and Lively at the 4. The Mavericks want to play this super big athletic lineup, so I think they're going to start with 2 bigs, including AD at the 4, which gives you limited room on the wing side of things, where I would personally probably play Flagg at the 3, with Clay at the 2, and then either Brandon Williams, Dante Exum, or whoever at point guard that the Mavericks want to start. D'Angelo Russell, of course, as well. But the Mavericks want to play this super big style of basketball, so they're going to have the 6'7" Cooper Flagg playing the 2, with Klay Thompson likely coming off the bench as well. And that is the Mavericks' goal for this season, to have the biggest, most athletic, versatile lineup in the NBA. And they really have amassed that with the likes of Anthony Davis, who's a very good defender, not only in the paint, but he can step out and guard some bigger wings as well. You have PJ Washington out there. Cooper Flagg adds to that versatility. So they're really going to have 3 or 4 spots on their starting lineup where these guys are very, very just good and athletic, switchable defenders. Now, you will have your true point guard out there in D'Angelo Russell or in Brandon Williams, whoever it may be, that maybe isn't the best defender. But if you put Dante Exum out with that lineup, all of a sudden you've created one of the best defensive lineups in the NBA. So don't be shocked if you end up seeing that lineup at some point throughout the 2025-26 season. It really wouldn't shock me. And as far as Cooper Flagg playing point guard is going to go, they tried it in the summer league. It had his ups and downs. Look, his handle was a little loose. There were a couple of times where he just didn't really know how to get the team initiated into the offense. There were times where it just looked a little sloppy. And I think that's what you expect from a guy who's just 18 years old and doesn't turn 19 until the middle of December. Look, he didn't grow up playing point guard. He grew up playing this point forward, wing, even big type of thing, because he's always been one of the bigger guys on his team going back to high school. That's not to say Flagg can't handle the ball, and it's not to say that if he grabs the rebound and he's starting a fast break, he can't bring it up the court. I do think he can, but I do expect him to make mistakes as far as the ball handling side of things go. I expect him to probably have a few unforced turnovers just because it's still a work in progress, and that's probably the thing that he has to work on the most. That was my takeaway, at least, from his 2 summer league games, that I think his handle is something that he has to work on probably the most out of anything in his game. So we'll see how the Mavericks decide to end up developing him. Obviously, losing God Shamgod from the Mavericks to the Orlando Magic was a big loss, and I think he would have played a big role in Flagg's development, but they're certainly going to have development coaches here on the staff that are going to work with Flagg day and night in order to try to just get that handle tighter. Hopefully, he'll be able to handle the ball under pressure a little bit better than he did in the summer league, because I think the coaches that watch the summer league are going to see that, and they're going to try to exploit that and try to put pressure on the ball when he has it. And once that pressure is on the ball, number 1, will he be able to dribble out of it? Number 2, if he's trapped or if there's pressure where he has to, pass it, will he be able to make the right decision? And I think that's where I have confidence in Flagg, in his ability to make the correct decision with the ball when it comes to him. I think he knows what he wants to do. It's just a matter of executing it and a matter of being able to just kind of get the team into the sets and into the offense that Jason Kidd wants them to get into. So I don't know if point guard is a role that I'm throwing at Flagg here immediately, because I think they have some pretty good replacements for Kyrie Irving and some pretty good substitutions. Once, Kyrie even comes back, it makes it even deeper. But so we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But I don't think point guard is the best role for him, even though Jason Kidd might want to play him there. This is going to be our pinned comment on today's show. What is Cooper Flagg's best position? Do you think it's small forward? Do you think it's power forward? Hell, do you think it's shooting guard like Jason Kidd might? Let me know down there in the comment section what Cooper Flagg's best position is. I'm going to say he's a forward for now. I think that as he comes into his rookie season, this is probably where you want him to play the most, because I just think that's what he's most comfortable at. And yeah, the Mavericks do want to put him in uncomfortable spots to try to just really elevate his game and develop him at a fast rate. But at some point, the Mavericks just need to flat out win ball games. And they're going to do that by having Flagg at forward the most out of any position, I think. This is what I project his usage by position to be. I think it's going to be about 35% at small forward, despite him starting as a shooting guard. The first rotation, I believe, would be to take PJ Washington out, bring Klay Thompson in, which would slide Flagg up to the 3. So that's really where I see things, is he's going to play small forward the most, followed by shooting guard. He'll play a decent amount of 4 as well, and then maybe 10% of his minutes will come at PG. I don't think it's going to be that much, unless he really shows that he's more than capable of doing it, and doing it at a level where Jason Kidd feels comfortable handing him the keys to the offense, where he's not going to turn it over. He's going to be able to initiate the offense and get them in the sets from different, ball angles and different ways as well. So I really think he's not going to play a whole ton of point guard, and it's simply because the Mavericks have plenty of options here on the roster that personally I feel pretty confident in. We'll talk about those options here in just a moment, but if you haven't already, go get yourself a Cooper Flagg jersey right now. He's the Mavericks past, or the Mavericks present, and the future. Chatsports.com/Flagg is your link to go get a Cooper Flagg jersey. And when you use that link, we'll get a part of the proceeds as well. So you're supporting the channel while going and getting yourself a dope Cooper Flagg jersey. One more time, it's chatsports.com/Flagg. All sizes and colors are available. That link will be in the comments and description of today's show. So is asking Flagg to play point guard too much for him? It's yes and no. I think you can throw a lot at him early, and he'll be able to absorb a bunch of information, be able to take it in and process it at a pretty high level. It's just a matter of whether you want him to play point guard when you already have these guys available to you. You signed D'Angelo Russell to that 2-year contract with the player option for a reason, and that reason was to replace Kyrie Irving in the starting lineup while Kyrie sits the first half of the year rehabbing from the torn ACL. Brandon Williams played excellent in the second half of the season last year, so you have him to really push the pace, and a guy who just kind of gives you something different that neither D'Angelo Russell or Dante Exum does. Now, Exum can certainly push the pace as well, but I see him more as a defensive-first, spot-up shooter guy he's a good ball handler, but I don't know if he's someone that's going to play make for you from that position. I think he's a very valuable player, as he's shot over 40% from 3 in his 2 years with the Dallas Mavericks, but is he a guy like D'Angelo Russell or Brandon Williams who can play make? I really don't think so. And I think Flagg does have a bit of playmaking ability, which is something that we certainly want to see on display. Look, the Mavericks made the finals in 2024 with having multiple ball handlers on the court at all times. So if Flagg is that secondary ball handler, even better, because I think that's a role that he can play and excel in his rookie season. So kind of my final thoughts on Flagg and just where the Mavericks see him and where I see him is that they're just going to throw a lot at him this year. In the back of their head, I don't think the Mavericks truly believe that they are going to contend for an NBA championship. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they think going into this season they can be one of the best teams in the West and they can be playing in late May and maybe early June. I'm not sure I see it that way. I kind of see this year, especially with Kyrie missing the first half, as sort of an experimental year for Cooper Flagg and for this team. Do I think they can still make the playoffs? I absolutely do. Do I think they can even win a round or two? Absolutely. But do I think they're going to be true title contenders? I'm not sure, which is why I think they're going to be maybe a little more laxed in how Cooper Flagg's rookie season goes. They're going to try to throw a lot at him, and I think Flagg is going to handle it, and he's certainly going to embrace it with open arms. And I'm just very excited to see what Flagg has to bring to the table, man. If you're excited to see Cooper Flagg in a Dallas Mavericks uniform, hit that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. We're about 2 months away from the official open of the 2025-26 NBA season. And we'll be right here on Mavericks Today by Chat Sports, breaking it all down. We'll probably do a watch party for opening night as well. So that's why you hit that subscribe button at youtube.com/MavsTV. Appreciate everyone for tuning in here to today's show. We'll have great content coming up this week, so stay tuned, and we'll see you guys soon.